Great Britain at 53 is the match official as Queen's Park Rangers in their traditional blue and white hoops get us underway here. And we've had some fabulous value, I must say, every time we've featured Rangers this season. Laid off by Bailey, Ince making a run forward and away by Bruce for Manchester United. Irwin clearing this one, and then Lee Sharp knocking it forward, but Peacock there for Queen's Park Rangers.
And it looks as if Ryan Giggs is going to partner McClare as a front two. Both have lined up in that area. What's noticeable, the first thing I notice is the atmosphere. It's very much like a cup tie atmosphere. I think that's shown the importance of the game for both sides.
Oh, and that was a real race for it for Tony Roberts there. Just getting there ahead of Ryan Giggs. Queen's Park Rangers, of course, having to reorganise a lot now that they've lost their midfield marshal, Ray Wilkins, who's been hobbling around on crutches backstage and says it's going to be 6 or 8 weeks before he's back. Bad luck that for Ray, and we wish him a speedy recovery. Now Bradley Allen. Out to Andrew Impey, another of the Rangers youngsters. Looking to run Irwin and doing it to some effect as well. Can he get a good cross in? He can! And it dropped down too to Simon Barker.
Well, he gets away with that. A real positive run from Andy Impey. Gets in there and doesn't quite miss the front post out there. But Peter Schmeichel's mighty relieved to see that bobble pass.
Away by Irwin. Rangers getting in a bit of a midfield muddle. United have the chance to break forward. Ince holding it up well, finds Kanchelskis in some space, and the early ball is too long with a posse of red shirts closing in too.
They're not very happy with Andrei Kanchelskis. It's really got to mean more when he gets it in those positions. Super play from Paul Ince, who worked the space, worked the opening, and this really, he should be providing a better cross than that in that situation. Under no pressure whatsoever there.
Lee Sharp coming forward again. He's been very prominent in the early stages. Giggs and Sharp, but the whistle had gone for a bit of off-the-ball argy-bargy in midfield, and Hughes is the man who's taken a knock in all of that.
Well, there's no doubt Big Alan McDonald catches Mark Hughes. The ball he just nicks it before him and does catch him very late, but I think it's the reaction of Mark Hughes to the tackle that brings the referee to stop the play. I think you can see from that how late Alan McDonald was.
And I think this might be the end of Mark Hughes' evening.
Well, it must be bad, Ian, because Mark Hughes is not the type of player to go off the park, let alone be helped off the park.
So United playing with 10 men at the moment. Bruce takes the free kick short for Ince. And Bruce just played into a little bit of trouble on Ince's return ball. Now Lee Sharp. Giggs. Two youngsters looking to work the give and go down the left-hand side. That's a poor clearance from Roberts. Holloway to Simon Barker. And Parker there, letting in Bailey for a moment. And United, with the crowd screaming for a Rangers free kick, get it away. Barker again. Impey. Frenetic pace about this, and some passion too. Sinton. Now David Bardsley. Spread wide for Dennis Bailey. Bailey down to Wilson. Nice layoff that. And now Bailey again. And Rangers get the corner. Mike Phelan has come onto the pitch. We've seen the last of Mark Hughes, and this is real problems for Manchester United. How are they going to play this tactically? We'll let you know. Meanwhile, the corner taken by Sinton. One in the air by Pallister. Sinton again. Gets in the cross, and Bradley Allen, that was a smart volley on the turn.
A good little ball in near post, wasn't it, from Andy Sinton? Plays it into a lovely little area, and Steve Bruce is just a little bit slack on Bradley Allen. Couldn't quite control his volley.
Sharp trying to get in there, and the corner is conceded by Rangers. Corner is not long again. Bruce wins it in the air. Ince is in there as well. Back in once again. And
there's a hand up there. There's definitely a hand went up in the box there, Ian. It's Steve Bruce that goes in there. There's a couple of hands up there. Andy Sinton's is certainly up there. And certainly one of them got contact with it. You see Steve Bruce claiming it wasn't his. Ryan Giggs the same.
Barker is giving this to Kanchelskis. And Giggs has got the pace to keep this in. Lovely turn from Giggs. This is dangerous from United. Giggs again. And oh, what a fantastic reflex save that was from Tony Roberts, from Darren Peacock's, well, near own goal.
I think you'll find it hits the crossbar. I don't think Tony Roberts gets anywhere near this. Hits him there, off the top of the bar with Roberts completely beaten. What a let-off for Queen's Park Rangers.
I thought for a moment that the goalkeeper had got his hand to that. Apologies. United have the corner. Bruce gets it back in. Kept away by Wilson. Extraordinary let-off that for Rangers. And Bailey turning well, and he's playing pretty well for a man who's had very little first-team action of late. Irwin getting in. Now Giggs. Irwin again.
He's got a zip about it this game, it really has.
Still this furious, frenetic pace about it. And here's Sharp getting onto his left foot. He can hit them from here. And into the net by Ince. Oh, what a goal that was. That was so clever from Ince. Nothing looked on until his bicycle kick. And United are ahead.
Because he's scored many. Two, I think, this year. His first one a cracker in the local derby. And this one, all about improvisation. Great athleticism from Paul Ince. The ball's wickedly deflected. Look at his reaction there. And that's a quite wonderful finish.
Well, United are flying a bit at the moment. It was great work from Lee Sharp. Hit it across the face of the goal, and look at that from Ince for improvisation. Wilson, hit long. Impey, Barker, Bailey. And crossed in towards Impey, who had a fair chance there. And he doesn't get enough goals, Andrew Impey. He'd be the first to admit it. That was a good chance, Andy.
I think Steve Bruce reacts to a shout from his goalkeeper. Looks to be claiming it, runs out the way, and allows Andy Impey a free header. I can only assume that Steve Bruce was reacting to a call from Peter Schmeichel. Otherwise, a man of his experience wouldn't be ducking under the ball.
To be fair to Andrew Impey, it wasn't that easy. It was on the stretch.
I hate to say it, but I think that Les Ferdinand might have completed it a little bit better than Andy Impey there.
Giggs is away here. This could be two. It is. Ryan Giggs and Manchester United are in the box seat in a big way here now.
What coolness and composure from the young man here. This one's just route one, isn't it? But when you've got the pace of Ryan Giggs, you've always got a chance beyond central defenders, and he finishes it beautifully. Darren Peacock gets sucked forward first of all. He spins on him immediately, Giggs. That gives him the space he needs, and he's finished emphatic.
Wilson. Long. Bailey is in there. So too is Pallister, though. And United can counter here quickly again. Sharp's clear on the far side. Instead, they elect Kanchelskis on the right. He gets in the cross shot. Not a bad idea from Kanchelskis. Low and hard, and somebody running towards the near post might have got a touch too, Andy.
Good positive run from Andrew Kanchelskis. Just chokes the shot a little bit by hitting it into the ground, and it just took a little bit of pace off it.
Jerry Francis must be a pretty worried man. And now needs to get 3 goals to win this against the best defence in the Premier League. This is a good run from Barker. And Sinton, oh, nearly fell for him. It still does, and it takes a deflection, and Schmeichel as well.
Good goalkeeping. Kept his eye on the ball there, and he had to. A good little run from Anderson, good little move, creates the opening by dragging it wide, deflects off Paul Parker, but good goalkeeping from the big man. But just look at the way he adjusts himself, Paul Ince. People will say that's a little bit of luck involved, but I think it's a great goal. And here, cool as you like from Ryan Giggs. And that a real crucial score.
Kanchelskis with the speculative knock-on. It wasn't a bad one either, with Lee Sharp breaking through the middle. Here's Ian Holloway. It's a good nod on to Bradley Allen. And Bradley Allen with a chance here, and Schmeichel with his legs, and a second chance for Allen. And didn't he do that well? 2-1.
Well, they needed a goal, didn't they, before half-time, and Bradley Allen's given them that lifeline. The slip from Paul Parker was crucial.
Well, the predatory instincts of the Allen family. 10 years the younger brother of Clive.
Yeah, you see the slip from Paul Parker. Schmeichel thinks he saved it, but wasn't that very bright and very cool from another youngster on the pitch?
Now, here's Ince. That could sting United a bit. They look for the instant response. Kanchelskis closing in on this one with the header. Angle too tight.
Well, I think you've been kind, Ian. I think someone with better aerial ability there could have dealt better with that ball.
Well, you daren't blink here at the moment. Parker. This is really set up brilliantly, certainly for us neutral observers. Sinton. Long towards Impey, who gets there. Allen. Down to Paul Parker, and happily he's all right again. He's had his fair share of injury problems since his move, £2 million move indeed, to Old Trafford.
Won't be happy though. Alex Ferguson, his team had gone in at 2-0 at half-time. You really do feel there would have been a mountain to climb for Queen's Park Rangers. 2 minutes before the interval, a slip from Parker, and Queen's Park Rangers have suddenly got the bit between their teeth. They can sense a real comeback here.
Really was a very, very well taken goal by Bradley Allen as well to put Rangers back in business here. Now here's Wilson. Not long, Bardsley's in there, and Impey!
Well, David Bardsley got forward to use his height at the back post. And again, I'm not so sure whether Andy Impey could have done better here. The ball's knocked down and Impey and Pallister go for it. Impey certainly gets there first.
Wilson eventually gets it away. And there goes the whistle to end a first half which was excellent value for money. It really was. Paul Ince with that bicycle kick goal, a marvellous little piece of improvisation from him to put United ahead. Ryan Giggs' cool finish one-on-one with the keeper to make it 2-0, and then Bradley Allen, sharp finish from him too. QPR 1, Manchester United 2 with a great... United get us underway in their red shirts, attacking now the goal to your left. Who's now an England international, of course. Bailey does well. Ince chesting this one down, but Rangers have it back again with Barker. Out to Andy Sinton. And he can hit them with the right foot from kind of range. And Schmeichel shouting at his defence there to try and close Sinton down.
Well, he comes inside Andre Kanchelskis, and Paul Parker just stands off. You do feel that Paul had to put him under a little bit more pressure there and not allow the shot.
Now Impey. Rangers buoyed up by Jerry Francis' half-time team talk, no doubt. Coming out searching for an early equaliser.
Well, neither manager would have had much time for a team talk, according to Nick Collins.
Kanchelskis here is goal side of Wilson, and he's put it away in emphatic fashion. Andre Kanchelskis marks his return to the United starting lineup. with a superb goal, his second of the season. The other was against Leeds, and that was a great finish.
Well, there have been 4 now. Fabulous finishes to moves. And this was a magnificent ball, first and foremost. Look at the way it's threaded into the space for Kanchelskis. But it's his finish that's so impressive. Across Roberts, into the far corner. Absolute textbook. Watch this. Too many players within the near post area. Not Kanchelskis. Across it goes. That's always going to be a goal there. I mean, look at the ball from Sharp there. It's absolutely perfect for him. But it's here. It's 2 touches is important. First one sets it up on his right foot. And his second one, we always try and tell young players, that type of angle, go across the goalkeeper.
There's Mark Hughes. Well, it looked bad for United when he had to go off early on. But United have come up with 3 goals in his absence. He's got 6 or 7 stitches, we understand, in that leg injury. Here's Lee Sharp again for United. Giggs. Nicely into McClare, and Wilson with the important foot in.
Oh, this is a vital challenge as well. It's a great take from Brian McClare. And Clive Wilson's just tucked in far enough to make the challenge.
Well, it's been an interesting test of United tonight without Cantona, without Hughes. And the men who've come in have done well for them. And this is one of them, Kanchelskis. Giggs is in the middle. He's going on his own with the left foot this time.
He's looked vulnerable tonight, Clive Wilson, whenever anyone has cut in on the inside and taken him on his right side. He's also obviously happier, Clive Wilson, when people are taking him on the outside and he's left. But anyone who's cut in tonight has earned himself a little bit of space. But Kanchelskis can't just keep the shot down.
And that's a nice ball for Kanchelskis, who uses his pace again. McClare arriving on the far post, and here's Giggs on the near post.
Well, I thought he was just going to pull the trigger there, Ryan Giggs, as Andre Kanchelskis rolled it across the box to him. See it here, he slides it across. I thought he's just going to pull the trigger. Decides to take it wide, and it just closes out on him.
Here's Steve Bruce, beaten in the air by big Gary Thompson.
Right, I'll be quite happy to see this, Alec Ferguson. 2 or 3 corners the last 5 minutes, keeps the ball well away from United's goal. And they'll just take as much time up here as they possibly can.
Some of the jockeying for position that goes on in any Premier Division game with the corner. It arrives here. Bruce is there with the header, and knocked in by Giggs, is it?
Free kick against Steve Bruce on Gary Thompson. John Martin was very quick on the whistle there. I think he felt that Steve Bruce using an arm here. So watch the corner come over. Just watch Steve Bruce here. Just leans on Gary Thompson slightly. What a great save though from a goalkeeper. He wouldn't have known a free kick had been given.
I'll tell you what, there would have been a furious row about whether that was over the line or not. And we were saved all of that because Bruce had been doing some pushing. Good action though. McClare. This is promising for United. Kanchelskis again. More players arriving. Giggs can't get there because McDonald got the important foot in. And yet another Manchester United corner. This is exactly what Queen's Park Rangers don't want, as it eats into the fast diminishing time available. United not getting very many men forward this time. Ooh, Roberts there has given it to Bruce. Steve Bruce.
Sensed a little bit of glory one felt there, didn't he, Steve Bruce? When Roberts doesn't quite collect it. As it drops down here, I think if this had been early in the game, I'm sure he'd be looking for someone else. It's late on, senses a little bit of glory. The finish not quite there.
Just underlining what a fascinating title race this is. Norwich were top on Saturday night. Aston Villa were top last night. Manchester United are going to be top after this. 3 leaders in 3 days. Leclerc's chasing this one. The wrong foot's McDonald. Here's Kanchelskis. This might be number 4. Kanchelskis. They had Giggs in the middle, and Giggs wanted that ball, and Kanchelskis went it alone. But it won't matter. Manchester United are top of the Premier League. It's been another very good night for Alex Ferguson and his assistant Brian Kidd. Paul Ince, certainly contender for man of the match. Ryan Giggs, who scored the second goal with some aplomb. Cool lob. Kanchelskis the third, which maybe broke Queen's Park Rangers' hearts.
It was important that we came away. We knew it was going to be difficult. But all credit to the lads. We've come out and with 2 strikers have had to go off, but we've still scored 3 goals away from home, which was good stuff for us.
I was going to say, you did it the hard way. Paul, your goal that started it off, you must have been terrifically pleased with that.
Oh yes, definitely. Before the game, the manager shook me hand and said all the best. Hope you score. And obviously I did it. It's one of those things where I've been doing the training, not just mucking about, you know. I can't say I practice it, but muck about, and obviously it just comes to me. It's just an instinct reaction, centre forward reaction.
Your form in general, though, this season, you're being very consistent. Anything in particular you put this down to?
Well, I was only a bit of answer for this question. And obviously it's about having my baby boy Thomas, and my wife Claire, married man, so obviously it matures you, and you don't spend so much time arguing with referees, and obviously it's improved.
Steve, do you feel that the fact that Villa scored 5 yesterday made you feel, right, we're going to go out and show just how good we are?
Well, I mean, we knew we had to come away and get a result, obviously, after that result. And as I said, all credit to the lads. They've produced a good performance, and it's never going to be easy coming here. QPR are a good side, and we've come here and played really well.